I'm going to assume that Lucy is an American girl and well educated as an American girl. How's your temper, Lucy?
Off and on.
Yeah, that's a strange question to ask you, girl. Just a minute. How's your temper? I explained to him who Lucy is.
Who Lucy is? Well, let's see. Lucy's a lot of things. Student, a worker, a mother, a woman, musician.
Does Snoopy kiss Francis?
I don't know.
Don't you know?
Snoopy?
Mm,
I don't have a Snoopy. I'm not that Lucy.
you know who that Lucy is, don't you?
Yes, I sure do.
And she's bad-tempered, isn't she?
Yeah, she's the crabby one.
She's slow in the uptake. I didn't think of Lucy until I said Snoopy.
Snoopy, yeah.
Peanut's comic. And did you dye your hair? Aren't you the little red-headed girl? The last Peanut cartoon, Charlie kissed the red-headed girl. Didn't you see that Peanut strip? Charlie Brown kissed her, and through agony.
Yes.
And you're the size of a red-headed girl. Now, informality is another thing I use.
Right.
It says professional dignity. Informality is the important thing. Now, have you been in a trance?
Yeah.
You?
No.
You?
No.
You married?
No.
You? Hmm. The power of speaking the truth then. What do you think you want to know?
What I want to know today? I haven't really thought about that today.
I started to tell a story about my 10-year-old daughter, Betty Alice. She liked chicken. And we usually had chicken for Sunday dinner. As the family sat down, I noticed her hands are dirty. I said, when one comes to the table with dirty hands, one washes the hands before eating. We hastily jumped out, ran in the kitchen, turned on the faucet, rinsed our hands dry, came sat down hopefully, because I was dishing out a chicken. I said, when one washes dirty dishes in the kitchen, dirty hands in the bathroom. When we jumped out, rushed to the bathroom, washed our hands, came out, shaking dry, sat down hopefully. I said, and one washes one's hands, one dries on a towel. He jumped out, brushed in the bathroom, washed her hands, came out drying them elaborately, and took the towel back in the bathroom, hung it up carefully, and sat down. And I said, it's now time for second helpings. I wasn't able to give you the first helping. So I don't know how to give a second helping. Never came to the table dirty head again.
Yeah, with your way to deal with the children, I'm asking myself, did you ever have to spank, give your children a spanking?
You know the brat, don't you? The brat is my youngest of 8 children. Beautiful, reasonable, adorable, tempestuous. In other words, a brat. And she was about 3 months old, lying in the crib. Her older brother, her mother, and I were looking at her. And her older brother said, "When she grows up, Alan and I will be our favorite brothers. And together with Dad, we will be 4 of a kind." And heaven helped the world the first time she tangled with Dad. He was 2 years old. On Sunday afternoon, all the rest of the family were reading a newspaper. She walked up to her mother and grabbed the newspaper out of her mother's hand and stood on the floor. And Mother said, "That wasn't very nice, Christina. Pick up the paper, give it back to Mother, tell Mother you're sorry. I don't have to." Every member of the family told her the same thing as she told each, "I don't have to." He told me, "I don't have to." I nodded my head to Betty. I went in bed and lay down in bed, and she picked Christina up and put her on the bed beside me. She looked at me contemptuously. I saw her scramble off the bed, but I had hold of her ankle. She said, "Wet loose, let loose." I said, "I don't have to." She looked at me and then she proceeded. Her kick and struggle, didn't cry, just struggled grimly. It was a terrible battle for 4 hours. Every time she got one leg loose, I had hold of the other. At the end of 4 hours, he said, "I will pick up paper, I will give it to Mother." I said, "You don't have to." He sat upright, thought and thought, and then said, "I will pick up the paper, I will give it to Mother, I will tell Mother I'm sorry." I said, "Fine." She was 2 years old then. Our next discipline occurred when she was 12 years old. She and her older sister had yelled at their mother one evening. I called the girls in the office and said, "Stand that bug. I don't think it's very nice for you girls to yell at your mother." And Roxanne said, "I don't either. I will go and apologize to Mother." And Christina said, "I could stand here all night." Well, I was writing a manuscript, so I turned to my desk and started writing. I wrote for an hour, then took the turn and said, "It's surprising how tired you get in 1 hour's time." Turned back to my desk, wrote for another hour. Then I turned to her and said, "The hands on the clock seem to be moving very slowly." Turned back, wrote for half an hour, and I said, "I think it's a very stupid remark you made." He said, "So do I." Collapsed in my lap and sobbed. I finished sobbing. She went out and apologized to her mother. The next disciplining occurred when she was 15. That took a minute. 17, half a minute. And 19, few seconds. I saved me myself a lot of trouble in disciplining her. because he's a very self-willed, self-reliant, self-sufficient child. And I always did my disciplining in the unexpected way.
Always.
All of them.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more of that in that direction. I don't like spanking and yelling.
All of a sudden, at 5 years of age, came in for dinner, saw a bowl of spinach on the table. And asserting his manhood, 5 years, he said, "I won't eat that stuff." I said, "Of course not. You're not old enough, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough." Mother said, "But he is too old enough, big enough, strong enough." I said, "Oh no." You know on whose side he was in that argument. And spinach is his favorite food. Betty Ellis sent one of her students to have dinner with us. He said he's an awfully shy boy. And he's a very clumsy boy. And he's a very sweet boy. So entertain him for dinner and give him the Erickson treatment. Naturally, he spilled his glass of milk. And someone remarked, "You know, there's one in every crowd." When he spilled his glass of water, someone said, "As went the milk, so goes the water." He spilled a second glass of milk, second glass of water. We each made a casual observation. I wonder if it's my turn to spill my milk. It really was my turn to spill water. When he left, he thanked us for Mrs. Erickson's dinner and said it was a very good dinner, even though it was a trifle damp. He felt very comfortable to come up with that witticism. And my daughter said, because you saw him next in school, he was not so shy anymore. He lived through the Erickson treatment. My son Alan went to a party. He was very awkward at the time. He managed to spill a whole pitch of lemonade on the carpeted floor. And before anybody could say anything in a state of horror, he said, "When you know it, there's always one such lump in every crowd." How else could you say? He said the very word. Earl, I think his name was Earl Larson. Anyway, a Scandinavian name. He learned as a child, his brain damage, very awkward, had very poor control of his hands and legs. He early discovered that on a street market, set up alongside of a hedge, he had no trouble at all controlling his hands, reaching through the hedge and stealing an apple or an orange. He went to college He was terribly embarrassed. He was always dropping books, and throwing them unexpectedly. He was invited to a party by one of the professors. And Earl spent a long time debating how to go to the party. He found Earl Carlson, that was his name. He decided to go. And he dreaded it because he knew he had some awkward accident. So I just entered the house. All said, "Oh, tell everybody, Carlson has arrived." Carlson, in his autobiography, said, that relaxed him completely, had no awkwardness. Everybody had been forewarned. Carlson established a first rehabilitation clinic in New York with brain-damaged children. And he based his therapeutic approach on beating the awkwardness by announcing it ahead of time. Kids didn't have to fear being awkward. Everybody knew they were going to be awkward, so they were under no strain to struggle to be graceful. It's a very interesting autobiography, Born That Way is the name of the book. All through he emphasized the unexpected approach and not being afraid to mention this is going to be awkward. It relieves them the strain of trying not to be awkward. Suppose you give some instruction. You haven't been in a trance, you haven't been in a trance. How do you think you'd go into a trance?
How do you think I would? Probably with a lot of difficulty.
Sure of that?
Not positive, but I think so.
You think it'd take too long?
Probably.
I'm sure. You doubt it'd take very long. Isn't that right?
I'm sorry?
You doubt it would take too long.
I really don't know.
You really don't know. Got no fixed opinion. You suppose you might be going into trance right now?
I don't think so.
Sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Very sure? Honest, cross your heart, hope to die? Sure?
I'm never that sure of anything.
All right. What do you think a good hypnotic technique is?
No, I don't know.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Can you slide your chair over closer to me?
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
Well, that delightful thing where she uncross her legs and recross them defensively. Now, will you slide your chair over?
I still want to know why.
Hmm?
I still want to know why.
I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find out.
I think I'll keep my chair here.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Really sure?
Mm-hmm.
Terribly sure?
Mm-hmm.
No doubts at all?
I don't know.
Not one.
Pardon me?
Not one.
Not one? Is that what you said?
Not even a tiny little doubt?
No.
Are you getting suspicious?
Mm-hmm.
I'll put pressure on her. How long do you think the group will have to wait for you to slide your chair over here?
Oh, 3 days.
Hmm?
3 days.
3 days. Hard on them, isn't it?
Hmm?
It's hard on the group, isn't it?
I don't know.
They came for instruction.
Mm-hmm.
And you're walling yourself off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting with you.
You're doing what?
That's what you'll find out.
Okay.
It's okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
It's okay, you said.
Yes.
So it is okay to start with you.
No.
Why did you say okay?
Because I didn't hear what you said.
Feeling very uncomfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Like that feeling?
Mm-mm.
Think you could lose it if you move your chair over here?
Mm-mm.
Want to bet?
Mm-hmm.
That bet means you're going to move your chair over, doesn't it?
No, I'm going to stay put.
And dispute yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see how to maneuver a conversation.
Yeah, good example.
What's that?
It's a good example.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Sure?
No. I'm still standing up here.
Uncross your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Uncross them.
Right now? No, I just want to sit this way.
You can't do it tomorrow.
It's okay.
Uncross these legs tomorrow?
No.
What's that?
I said I don't know.
A lot of things you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is when you're going to uncross your legs.
Eventually.
Or sooner.
I don't know.
Do you think I'm being hostile?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen who are videotaping you will tell you I'm illustrating points for them and for the group. And use of words. Get people to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Is that perseveration? When you look toward that horse up there, just look at it, your hand in your thighs. Ribs, elbows against your rib cage. Just look at it. Don't move. Don't talk. I'm going to remind you of something that happened a long time ago. Don't move. When you first went to school, had to learn how to write the letters of the alphabet Now, it seemed to be a horrendous task. All different letters, different shapes, different movements, different kinds of letters, printed letters, written letters, capital letters, small letters, and slowly, gradually, it formed a visual mental image. A visual mental image located somewhere in your brain, located there permanently, only you didn't know it at the time. And while I've been talking to you, you've altered your respiration, your heart rate has changed, your blood pressure has changed, your muscle tones has changed. And when I next say the word now, you'll close your eyes now. But keep them closed and feel very comfortable. Then you can go into as deep a trance as you wish, feeling more and more comfortable. The more comfortable you are, the deeper in trance you'll go. And close your eyes too. Close your eyes. Now,
I'll keep them open.
and note the old quick response. And the deeper in the trance you go, the more comfortable you will be. And you may even go so deeply that you become a bodiless mind. A mind without a body, a mind that is floating in space, floating in time. And you may hear my voice. My voice can change into that of your parents, your teachers, your schoolmates, your playmates, neighborhood sounds, and memories you've forgotten a long time ago come back to your mind. You may even find yourself sitting in the schoolroom, or playing on the school grounds, or eating Thanksgiving dinner, or getting a present on your birthday, or looking at a Christmas tree, because it isn't really 1979, or is it 78 or 77? The year 75 is yet to come. And soon you'll know that somewhere in 1960, is it 1961, 60, or 62, and really enjoy yourself. and pleasure and comfort and joy of 1960, 61, 62 is marvelous to have. It's so wonderful. Now, Hans, you move that chair over here. No, that chair. That chair.
That chair?
That chair.
You want me to move this chair?
Mm-hmm.
With the lady in there or without? Move this chair over there.
Here.
You taking this chair.
Take your chair back to over there. Do you uncross your legs?
Hmm?
Did you uncross your legs?
Yeah, I guess I did.
That's the way you can put pressure on. You're bringing your chair over, confuse the issue. If you would have gotten out and sat down in this chair, you bring your chair over, confuse the issue,
Oh yeah.
and gave him an opportunity to come up again. By the way, how do you like Count Dracula here?
I like that.
Don't come around midnight.
I'll be sure not to.
Getting turned into a vampire. And you see he's quite hungry. What childhood memory can you tell us you forgot about a long time ago?
Just now, what I thought about. In 60 or 61, I was living in Kodiak, Alaska. In 60 or 61, I was living in Kodiak, Alaska.
Say it louder.
I was living in Kodiak, Alaska in 61.
All right, what memories did you have?
I had a big king crab. I had a big king crab that I was trying to put into a gunny sack.
How long since you thought about that?
About 2 days ago, I was telling somebody about it.
What other childhood memory you come up with?
The other was probably back in the late 30s. A little redheaded girl that I was playing with. We played
How long since you thought about her?
probably since the late 30s.
Is it Lita?
Lisa. Lisa.
Lita. What childhood memories?
I just had some vague recollections of my old school and walking around there.
Did it feel as if you were walking around there?
Hmm?
Did it feel as
Yes.
if you were actually there?
Mm-hmm.
And you, Peter?
Michael,
Like,
when I was doing that, I didn't remember much of anything. Although just a moment ago, you asked that again, and I remembered it was a birthday, and receiving a bicycle for my birthday, a black bicycle.
Do you realize you were in a trance?
I didn't think I was.
Do you realize that either your hands, your head, or your toes are moving almost continuously? And while you were in a trance, your toes were very much at rest.
I
So your-
meditate a lot too.
Did you expect to go into a trance?
Excuse me?
Did you expect to go into a trance?
Yeah.
You think you'd be more comfortable sitting in this chair?
That's from where the chair was.
Hmm?
That's from where the chair was. It depends upon where the chair was.
I'm not a black ogre. I'm a purple ogre. And purple ogres are not bad to sit near.
Is that what?
It isn't bad to sit near a purple ogre.
It's not so bad to sit near a purple ogre than close to
There's black ogres. You made the first movement to standing up there, didn't you? You made the first movement to rise, didn't you?
No.
Yes, you did. What was the right arm movement you made?
Pardon?
Right arm movement you made. You lifted your right elbow a little bit.
Why?
And you controlled it immediately. Now, why not be a bad girl and sit in this chair? Don't you want to be a bad girl?
I don't know.
Well, you try to be a bad girl.
If you say so.
If I say so.
Yeah.
All right, be a bad girl and sit in this chair.
No.
Now, if I were seeing you privately, I would keep on badgering you
I imagine you will.
until you finally yielded. I'm just making use of you now to show how to badger somebody into doing things. And I'm more interested in you sitting there than I am having him sit here. Which puts you in a quandary, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You are so agreeable.
Yeah.
In 1930, I was demonstrating hypnosis on some medical students, and one of them absolutely refused hand levitation. I persisted over half an hour, using all techniques I knew. An excellent hypnotic subject there said, Dr. Erickson, you let me take over. Susan says that he's being cooperative. There's obvious, unconscious resistance. My hypnotic subject took over the other side of the room and remarked it was a very pleasant day that day. Susan agreed. And you live in Boston, is that right? Yes. You're in medical school, yes. I don't know how many questions answered. We asked about 30 questions, eliciting yes. Then the arm's going to lift, yes. He had hand levitation. Until 1923, I was demonstrating hand levitation in Clark L. Hull's seminar. Hull had promised that, yeah, I do a lot of experiment work in hypnosis. He'd have a seminar at the university that September. You know, I was trying to demonstrate hand levitation, and the subject I knew was excellent, somnambulistic. I suggested hand levitation, hand never moved at all. I kept studying that girl, studying her, and then I had her awaken. She had a total amnesia for the trance state. I suggest you go back in the trance, levitate her right hand. I'll have to do it with my left hand. The hand is lifting, lifting, lifting. Oh, let's take my right hand. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Now, put your left hand on your right wrist. And she had hallucinated levitation. Sometimes when subjects think they aren't cooperating, they are. And this young lady is. You know, she keeps nodding her head in a perseverating way. And she recognized unconsciously all the negation I put in my tone of voice. And he is not going to sit in that chair, not because he chooses, because I put enough negative in my voice to keep her from sitting there. Now, at this moment, will you please feel free to do as you wish?
Yeah, thanks. It's all right.
Now, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Depends on my mood.
Hmm?
Depends on my mood. Depends on my mood.
Are you right-thumbed or left-thumbed?
Oh, I don't know.
Right-eyed or left-eyed?
I don't know.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Right-eared or left-eared?
I don't know.
How will you find out whether you're right-thumbed or left-thumbed?
I don't know. I don't really want to know. pick on somebody else.
I told her to do what she herself wished to do. She likes to avert her face from me. Likes to avert her body from me. Where it gives the suggestion she's right-eared. I think, though, I wouldn't guess which ear is dominant. And do you know that people are right-eared or left-eared? The best way of finding it out is without any background discussion. Just ask the person, close their eyes, and imagine they're hearing a concert in that direction. They turn their head this way, turn their head this way to listen at faint music in the distance. They're right or left-eared. Now, are you right or left-thumbed? What do you think you are?
Left.
I know you are.
I don't know.
You're left-thumbed too.
Yeah, left.
Put your hands over your head like this. Go ahead. Please.
I don't want to.
Please do so.
Go pick on someone else, please.
Is that? Please do so. Well, clasp your hands together. That girl is smarter than she letting us find out. You actually know whether you're right or left thumb, don't you?
No, I've never thought of.
You know how to prevent revealing whether you're right or left thumb. And clasp your hands together completely. Go ahead.
All right, again, out there.
You're left thumb. I'm right thumbed. The top thumb is dominant one. If it's anything, you break a football coach. Nothing so much breaks a football coach's heart. You see a 6'6" freshman, all bone and muscle, who's right-eyed, right-eared, right-shouldered, right-armed, right-handed, right-legged, right-footed, and left-hipped. He instinctively throws his left hip when he should be throwing his right hip. You can't make a football player out of him. He should be right-hipped, right-handed, right-footed, right-kneed, right-legged. People will automatically lateralize all parts of their body. I'll give you a case. Peggy. I saw a college girl who walked down the street like this. She ate in a restaurant, holding her left hand to her mouth and feeding herself underneath her hand. She recited in class, holding her hand like this. He didn't want to talk to me about that mannerism. I finally got her to tell me why. When she was 10 years old, he was thrown through the windshield of an automobile in a crash, and he got her mouth cut. He saw a lot of blood, and he remembered that auto accident and a cut lip with all the terror of a 10-year-old child. And she grew up thinking her mouth was horribly scarred, and she prevented people from seeing it. I finally persuaded her to let me get a glimpse of the scar. Having seen the scar, I sent her down to the library, told her to read the history of cosmetology. In so doing, she read all about beauty marks. And then I asked her, draw me pictures of all the beauty marks she'd seen illustrated in that history. I told her to draw them life-size. So we did that. And with a great deal of difficulty, I persuaded her to sketch life-size a scar on her lip. And she did it very nicely. And she found out it was star-shaped and the size of a beauty mark. And she still thought it was disfigured. I told her it wasn't disfiguring, and I would let her prove it. She looked at me in disbelief. I said, no, you don't date boys. Or you accept a date with a boy, and you carry 2 handbags. You won't be putting your hand up to your mouth. And when he takes you to your rooming house, and the day is over, and he asks you for a good night kiss, you give it to him. And he's going to kiss you on the scar side of your mouth. The first one did. He thought that might be an accident. The second one did. That might be coincidence. Third one did. Fourth, the fifth. I knew beside her mouth they would kiss her on, because she would tip her head. Now, do you know whether your left side kisser or right side kisser?
Neither.
The answer is it depends upon the boy. And what would you do if I moved my chair towards yours?
Well, I guess we'd have to find out.
Hmm?
I guess we would have to find out.
You think I could do that?
Sure you could.
You are agreeable, aren't you?
No, not at all. He heard me.
What do you mean, in a certain way?
What?
What do you mean, in a certain way you are agreeable?
That's all I said.
Hmm?
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said, I'm not particularly agreeable.
You're not particularly agreeable. But I agree with you. Is that agreeable to you?
All right.
Will your microphone pick this up?
Yes.
What is that for?
What did you do when I pulled up in your hand?
Pardon?
What did you do when I pulled up in your hand?
I resisted.
What did you do when I pushed down?
I gave in. I gave in.
Not fully. You resisted that too. You resisted both directions. So this is when I pushed down, I pulled up. I pushed to one side, when I pushed to the other side. Now when I look, put your hand on your thigh.
I like being guinea pig.
You're losing the game, aren't you?
Hmm?
You're losing the game.
Not really. It's not a game.
You know I want your head away from your thigh. It is. As you pull it away, you wouldn't let me push it down. You wouldn't let me push it that way or this way. I forcibly put it out until you put it down on your thigh.
Mm-hmm.
You kept it away from your thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And previously, you told me you didn't want it away from your thigh.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't really a contest of wills.
It feels that way.
Hmm?
It feels that way.
I don't feel that way. I'm taking advantage of you demonstrating
That's right. Yeah.
contrary behavior, because that's what you encounter
Mm-hmm.
in private practice. And you really ought to know all the different ways to show it.
Yeah, I should know that.
Mm. Do you know why you're not willing to learn the easy way?
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us?
I could. I said I could.
As long as you know, that's the important thing. Hans, will you get another folding chair? He's unprepared. You've got him at a disadvantage. Oh, Susan, one day, I discussing that, suddenly jumped out and said, "Hand it out! I want your money!" I said, "Which one of us should put the hands up?" You were confused? He was so obviously confused, the rest of the group started laughing at him. Do the unexpected thing. Medical students like to heckle their professors. In my first year, the first lecture, they started heckling me from the back of the room. I invited them courteously to take front row seats so I could hear them better. They gladly did that. Then one asked me an irrelevant question. Let's see, he was sitting there. He asked the question, so I turned and said, "Yes, Mr. Schachner, the answer to your question is a foot has 23 bones." The next student tried to heckle me. I turned as if he was sitting there and gave an irrelevant answer. And pretty soon the class was laughing at them. That ended the heckling.
We have to think about that.
Yeah, that's...
Because in our teaching programs, of course, there are always hecklers, right?
Yeah.
Always hecklers in all the seminars. And
You're taught always in school by your parents or your teacher. Look at me when I speak to you. Look at me when you speak to me. So you violate that teaching and the person is lost. You change the situation.
That's one technique that you use, that you have used that I like best. This is some kind of surprise, always a surprise. So you're doing the unexpected, and you don't use it anymore when you do inductions. Not from what I've seen in the last years, but. I can imagine this is a very potent device to put somebody in
Close
trance.
your eyes. It took you by surprise, didn't it?
Yeah.
And you developed a light trance too. Did you know that? Her face became very immobile. Now you know that you developed a light trance. And
I saw it the first time too. She had the little movements.
and you can learn as much while you're in trance. Only you won't know where you learned it. Just be a part of your general knowledge. I always let my residents who were hypnotized somebody sleep during my lectures. They often reviewed a book, read a book in a trance state, and when I called them 3 months later to give me a report of the book, they'd protest, but Dr. Erickson, I forgot to read the book. I would tell him, that's all right, that's your responsibility. Suppose you summarize for me the 3rd chapter, 7th chapter, 9th chapter. and speculating, right down to you think the author put in the 3rd chapter, 7th chapter, 9th chapter. And right out, some be surprised to find out they had some in the chapter.
Yeah, that still sounds like magic to me, and I find it hard to believe. It's similar to the story that is in the clinical journal that was where lots of your stories were in. That you once sat down or made arrangements to write an article for some editor, and you did it during the night. You only had the alarm clock, and when you got up in the morning, there was the written article there. I tried it a few times. It didn't work when I did it. I didn't even wake up. So there must be some special feature that only you have.
You encounter sleepwalking on patients. And not long ago, I fell down during the night on the floor. I've called my son Robert. He came, we've done it before, he came 8 bucks, about 2 a.m., very carefully picked me up, put me back in the wheelchair. I went home. Next morning, his wife said, I didn't hear you when you came back, helping Dad. Helping them. What way? You went to pick up Dad last night. No, I didn't. I had complete amnesia. I had driven the car, parked it, come to the house, very carefully, picked me up in the best way, or picking me up, and put me back in the wheelchair. Went home, undressed, went to bed, I had total amnesia for it. Now sleepwalkers do a lot of things.
We're going to be leaving in a few minutes. And I had a phone call from Dr. Samko, and he said he had overestimated his travel efficiency, that it would be 2 o'clock. It might even be as late as 2:30. And they would come right over. And I said, well, you'll probably have a short session today. But they're going to be here tomorrow and the next day, just them. And you folks, if you're still here. And so, you know, a short session today would be okay. Then they can leave their stuff here when they have 1 o'clock. And bring them in tomorrow to see the Latin sign. The man is fertilizing the trees out there.
Has he arrived?
He's been working for an hour and a half already, and he's done all the backyard. So the gates are latched now.
All right.
Any additional
And give me my whitefish.
I
On
don't
the
want
way
to
back.
get on film here.
You want to?
No, I don't want to. No. You can turn, are you ready to
That
turn
looks
it
real
on?
nice on that, Chris. You come and see it back here.
But now I'm going to turn it off while you
Yes.
while you kiss that.
Yeah, on film. Messing around here on film. Get this off film. Okay, bye-bye then. Take care of yourself, okay?
I will.
And I'll see you in about 2 months, huh? 2.5 months on my way to the West Indies. Louis, goodbye. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Peter,
Bye.
goodbye. It was a
It was
pleasure.
really nice meeting you.
And perhaps I'll see you in Europe
Yes.
next time.
I'm almost certain, right?
Yes,
Since you
actually.
go there, we will see.
Ms. Ziegler, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, thank you.
Have a good stay here in Phoenix. Okay,
Bye.
I'll see you in a couple months.
I'll be gone a while now, because we have several errands to do, so.
Bye bye.
Nickname for her is the Brat.
The brat.
Beautiful, reasonable, adorable, tempestuous.
Tempestuous.
Yeah, I told you about my SOB son.
Mm-hmm.
Your brat daughter.
Yeah, he's Brad Don. Christina is really nice. I enjoy her very much. She's super nice. But you know, the surprise technique, I don't know if it can be learned. I think it seems to be more an aspect of a personality rather than a technique you can really learn. Groucho Marx was a good surprise technique.
Yeah.
He's marvelous, surprise.
Yeah.
Groucho Marx, yeah,
And do you know, comic strip, Little Abner, Doug Patch,
no.
No.
he's marvelous at surprises.
Who is that?
Oh, I can't think of his name. A comic strip called Little Abner
Little Abner.
of Dog Patch.
Little Abner of Dog Patch. Abner.
A hillbilly,
Oh,
imaginary town of completely illiterate people. As Moonbeam was fine, a beautiful girl who liked to sit in the hog walls. And Indian Joe and do you know the name of his pal?
no?
They made kickapoo juice. Serpentine, kerosene, gasoline, alcohol, and marinated rats and cockroaches and so on, and made an alcoholic beverage. And Little Abner had to go to a certain other village where all the girls were terribly homely. And he had to marry one of them. And so this bevy of utterly grotesque girls greeted Little Abner and asked him, which one of us are you going to marry? He said, the homeliest one. After that, he was known Brilliant Abner. Because none of them would admit they were homeless.
Did you often watch Groucho Marx? Do you think one can learn from him? Unfortunately, there isn't any material around of him anymore. Did you watch him often?
Everything I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
I would like.
How many of you are acquainted with New England custom? Never mention your wife. You say the missus. My missus says this, I'm missus, is a good dressmaker. My missus knows how to roast turkeys. That's never my wife. Call her missus. In German, say,
They say,
meine Frau.
meine Frau. My wife or my woman.
But what is the word for woman? What is the word for woman?
Frau.
And for wife,
Ehefrau. Ehefrau. Married wife. That's the literal translation of it.
my married woman makes good cakes. You would say that about your wife, would you?
Now, almost anybody does, uses meine Frau. That just means my
Mine.
woman instead of meine Ehefrau. Strange.
My son, Mrs., a good dressmaker, as New England style. He says, hey, my daughter-in-law. Our son's is Mrs. A married woman came to me and said, I've been married 16 years. My husband likes to be loved to me. I enjoy it. But I never have had an orgasm. Is it possible to have an orgasm? And that's all it was. I said, no, you have your husband come and see me. I put her in trance and told her the same thing. And I'll tell your husband how to give him an orgasm. And so I instructed the husband. And one night when we returned from work, he was at the stove, frying some meat. He grabbed her, pulled her onto his lap. I sat in a chair, he pulled up her dress, had intercourse with her. Sitting on his lap, he kept protesting. I disregarded her protest, and she had an orgasm, being taken by surprise. And she said, I wonder if I could have another orgasm. The doctor told me what to do about that. One Sunday, she was lying on the couch reading a paper, the Sunday paper, and he was reading another part of the paper. And the house, the cups beside the window, as she looked at a neighbor's house, or you could actually look in the neighbor's house through their window. You get a good clear view. He suddenly, the day, pounced on her, had intercourse with her, and he kept saying, bind isn't down. Maybe the neighbors will see. She had another orgasm. Taking her by surprise. It's always necessary. I treated premature ejaculation. I use the hypnosis to fill a man's mind with doubt. And no matter how hard an erection he gets, he may not be able to ejaculate. One doctor came to me and said, I was 20, I went to a brothel, and my experience so soured me, I haven't been able to get an erection for 20 years. I hired at least 500 prostitutes to work on me to get an erection. and all fail. Recently I met a girl, I fall in love with her. She's tried to get me to have an erection, and she has failed. Now, am I permanently scarred so I can't have an erection? I said, I've got therapy for you. I'll have to talk to your girlfriend. So I told the girlfriend, you try to give your boyfriend an erection, he has failed. I want you to sleep with him every night for the next 3 months. And don't let him touch you. And you try to, you'll avoid it. And I'm going to tell your husband, he'll sleep with you for 3 months without touching you. And you can act as coy and as come on as you wish. And you keep him from touching you. And about 6 weeks later, he lost control of himself, had the erection, had the intercourse. See, I put the inhibition on myself. I inhibited him. His experience no longer inhibited him. I did the inhibiting by forbidding him. I can displace the inhibition about erection from his past experience and took it over and made it my inhibition, my prohibition. That worked with that problem. And that, I think, is a common sense approach. On the farm, my brother was very, very lazy. Always refused to help me carry straw into the barn. But I came up with a bright idea. I bet him a nickel I could carry 5 times that straw in the barn as he could. He proved me wrong.
So he at least had one victory, but you had another one.
That's right. Next time I bet him I could carry 4 times as much. He showed me I couldn't. Then I bet him I carry a larger forkful of straw than you can. Haven't worked out of him. With patience, you do make the same sort of commonplace approach. That's plain common sense.
There was a similar story once when I came first to you. You told me about some publisher who had a complete edition of, I don't know who he was, maybe Mark Twain, and how you got it for a very, very low price. I don't recall the whole story here, but it was a beautiful story.
Oh, yes. Publishers remainder sales. And some rangers of being published, some man who specializes in selling off the remaining stock of books. I read an advertisement for a complete set of Mark Twain for only $190 with $200. Beautiful advertisement. I took a big short pencil and ruled tablet paper, I wrote a very earnest letter using a grammar of an illiterate or semi-illiterate man. I done read your advertisement, a misspelled advertisement, for them books by Mark Twain. I sure would like to. Oh, boy, I ain't got enough money to pay $200. He came down $10, 200, 190. I wrote another very earnest letter again saying I just couldn't find no how to raise $180. He came down $25 more. I wrote again, nice, piteous, pleading letter, illiterate. I finally got that book for a set of volume for $5.
Mark Twain would have loved that.
But you see, he was playing me for a sucker. He got so involved, being certain I bought, that became a matter of honor on his part to get some money out of me. I got a big set of Flaubert that same way.
And you only wrote him how much you wanted this book, but you cannot pay
But he
that.
couldn't know how, looking everywhere, find a way to, and how to save all that money. Save spell S-A-I-V. I enjoyed writing those letters. Do you know that Protestant religion of Scientology? We had a dog, a basset named Roger. At home, there you can follow my example. He wrote in Roger's name a semi-illiterate, misspelled letter to the Scientology group, seeing as how he would like to become an auditor, a clear. That course went on for years. He offered to invest his $500 savings that he earned as a night watchman. They offered to make him a traveling representative to Africa. If I made him an auditor, they wasted so much money on postage. Betty had that stack of literature that Roger received. Life should be enjoyed. You know, anybody wants to play me for a sucker, I'm ready.
Why? I was going to ask about decision making. Why decision making seems to be so difficult?
I had discussed that recently. Betty. People are afraid to make decisions because they learn in childhood you must not do the wrong thing. How else can you learn if you don't do the wrong thing? You better learn that. Let's see. Feet on the floor. Do you know how many fingers you have?
Yes.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
You don't know this, do you?
No.
And you can come from this direction all the way over the other.
Uh-huh.
And you come from that go this way. And you add the number of digits there, it was told here, and get the right number. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, you count them. I'll point.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's your count. I think you've got 11 fingers.
You do. That's it.
I'll prove it.
What?
I'll prove it.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5 makes 11. Right? We're small children, has a wonderful way of steps to go forward with it. Now, do you know your right hand from your left hand? You sure? I don't think you do.
You don't?
No. Put that hand behind you. Which hand is left? You make your decisions, find out you're wrong, then you are open to learning the right thing. Every little dog count 1, 11, 2, 7, 5, 10, 7, 11, 21. You better learn that's the wrong way of counting his fingers. You better learn it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You better learn the alphabet in proper alphabetical order. And you shouldn't be afraid of making a mistake, because if you doesn't make a mistake, you won't accomplish anything. Now, how many of those just hold back from making a decision for fear of being wrong? They're doing the thing. They're acting on learning they got early children. That's the wrong way. You teach a child to count his fingers, and you miscount them, so you see. Oh, you didn't count them exactly right, but this time you can get more closer to the right way of counting. Our teacher marked your spelling lesson. All of the spellings. In college I did an experiment. I took a group of students who did not know how to type. I had them learn to type in a standard way. So we could type a whole page without an error. I corrected every bit of copy. They turned into underlining mistakes. Another group, I had type, and I turned in the copy, underlined every part of every word was done right. They learned to type correctly, more rapidly than the other students who had their errors pointed out. I had the right letters underlined. My son Robert asked me when he was attending grade school, my two best friends can't spell. I people was married 10, 15, or 20. My spelling lesson gets marked 85, 90, 95. Now, when you teach them how to count, I can't really do that, Robert, about consulting your parents, and I can't do that. I'll tell you what to do. You can be certain you have your spelling lesson with you, and your friends have their spelling lessons with them. Marked, copy, corrected by the teacher. I'll come over and pick you up till I have you home, and I'll offer to drive the boys home. And we're riding along, you tell me what mark you got in your spelling lesson. I'll pull up the car, and I'll look over your spelling lesson. I'll listen. That's right, you got this word right, and this word, and this, and this, and this, and this. And grade 90. You turn to the boys and have you got your spelling lesson with you? Yeah, like you said. You didn't show it to me. I insisted. I looked at it. My goodness. A CK in chicken is the hardest part of the word to spell, and you got that right. I looked at the next word, and there were 3 letters there. The hardest part of the word to spell. I went through those. The second boy handed me his spelling lesson. A short time later, the teacher, what happened to the boys that they suddenly gave in for the spelling correctly? I'm going to show you how to look at the spelling lesson. Yes. And see the right part of their spelling. And adults, a look at their failures, I stop. Instead of realizing their failures are always an opportunity to learn. Every time I've lost a job, I got a better one. I failed to get the scholarship at Colorado Psychopathic Hospital. I got a job in Rhode Island. It was a wonderful job. I was set for life. I had my ambition becoming a senior psychiatrist, clinical director, assistant superintendent, and superintendent. And I'd been there 7 months. I made the mistaken judgment of being alone in the room with a schizophrenic patient who had been a heavyweight prize fighter. I entered the room, see how he's getting along. The husband came out of the super and said, I'm going to knock you down and stomp you to death. I had good arm from the days. I leaned my left arm against the wall, using it as a lever to push. And he slowly approached me, beside me, just before he hit me, knocked me down. He approached very slowly, very deliberately, making me mind just how he's going to make me kill. When he got close enough, I threw my 140 pounds behind my right fist into his breadbasket and knocked him down. I was out of that room, had room locked behind me in a hurry, but by law, Rhode Island, if you strike a patient, no matter why, that's a resignation. The superintendent, later the president of the American Psychiatric Association, felt so bad about my enforced resignation, took me to Worcester, gave me recommendations, so I became psychiatrist on research service. And 4 years later, a rector of research, my superior, became so jealous of me that he reduced my salary by 25% to get me to quit. Well, I knew what he was doing. I looked happy on, without saying a word about reduced salary. And then he started a rumor that I'd be transferred to the custodial part of the hospital. And I knew they'd never waste my clinical ability on custodial service, counting blankets, sheets, and pillowcases, and so on. And when that didn't cause me to quit, he called me up one day and said, I'd like to see you in your office.